And one of my favorite people on the entire planet Earth is joining us. We are wearing the green in honor of him, Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman. Thanks for being with us on Vibe Check. This is so cool.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I was so sad to miss you when you were in New York on this media tour.
Crazy.
You guys were everywhere. What did you learn during that trip about the players that you were traveling with?
Well, they're picky eaters, right? We went out to a couple of different places to eat, and I'll tell you what, you would think it isn't that hard to find a great meal in New York, but some of these guys are. But they got to experience. It was the first time for a lot of them to be on the subway, and so we got a chance to do that. And then we went to a Mets game, which was awesome. But it's always good to spend time with those guys, just outside of the football facility, and to go experience something else. So it was a wonderful trip.
I know, Coach, when you're in the midst of coaching, and especially with the stakes at Notre Dame, it's really hard to reflect on the year before. And the year that you guys had last year was so successful. But when you take a second and you will reflect on 24, whether it be now or when your career is eventually over years and years from now, what will you remember most about 24 if someone were to ask you about that?
Just the journey. And I know that's a generic term, but I think you don't get a chance to appreciate it while you're in it, because every time you win, you lose. It doesn't matter what the situation. You're getting ready for this week, and to look back at the journey of where we started down at Texas A&M to where we finished, obviously in the national championship game. You appreciate the journey and those guys that you were on a journey with. Every year is different, and every year is special. To play 16 games and to be in the national championship was something really to remember. They've all been working individually on how to improve as an individual, whether that's in pass protection, whether that's ball security, whether that's as a receiver. We got to find different ways to have each of them improve, but it's going to be a running back by committee, right? Is that we have to utilize every person in that room, and that might mean having more than one running back on the field at one time. And so we'll figure out what we're going to do tactically as we prepare for our upcoming opponents. But it's a great room that is looking to elevate as we get ready for fall camp.
Wait, Hannah, you saw that smile? You saw that smirk from Coach saying, we're going to figure out how to utilize them maybe two at a time. I see you, Coach.
So I'm saying, like, the price of love. Love has no price.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, there's all, we could go a lot of ways with that, Coach, but
Love it.
the starting quarterback, still to be decided. We have C.J. Carr. We have Kenny Minchie, who's been around. I don't know how you got, like, Lloyd Carr's grandson to come to Notre Dame instead of Michigan. So kudos to you, my friend. But how is that quarterback battle shaping up? What qualities are you going to look for in a QB1?
Yeah, the biggest thing I've challenged that room with is consistency, right? And that we believe that consistency builds the trust that we feel is necessary to be named as starting quarterback. And when they prove that we need to name a starting quarterback, we will, right? I don't want to put a timetable on it, but the challenge is, how can I be consistent as a person when I come into the football facility, my preparation for practice, how I'm practicing, taking care of the football. And ultimately the battle is within, right? And people are going to put Kenny Minchie versus C.J. Carr. They're battling for the starting quarterback spot, but I've challenged them to understand the battle is within yourself and how you can find ways every minute of the day, every rep of practice to really improve as an individual and let the rest of it take care of itself.
Wow, I really like that philosophy. Yeah, the battle is within yourself. Of course, the battle starts soon,
It
right?
does.
Because
no easy ones, Hannah. If you're looking at Notre Dame, it's never easy when starting the schedule. And I know you personally as a fan, you're like, I love this, but also it makes you a little anxious when the season starts.
I mean, Coach, so Miami, here we go, and Texas A&M. What is your philosophy in terms of that, like, strength of schedule as an independent in light of the college football playoff?
Yeah, we know our independence is so important to us in this football program and to this university. And part of being independent is you have to have a strength of schedule that emulates some of those power conferences. So the Big Ten, the SEC, the ACC, we have to make sure we have a strong strength of schedule. And so that means we have to play Miami, Florida. We have to play the A&Ms. We have to play the USCs and those opponents. And so we love it. That's what makes us Notre Dame. We know we have great challenges on the horizon. I think right now our focus for fall camp is how do we battle each other, right? How do we put the work in where we can test the plans that we have. And then as we get closer, probably 2 weeks out, we'll really start game planning for Miami.
Also, congrats, because we understand your oldest is going to wrestle at Cornell. So you're sending your oldest of 6
Bravo.
off to college, Coach. That's not
Yeah.
easy.
I put a little bit of pressure on our athletic director, Pete Bavacqua. I said, hey, if you bring back this wrestling program to Notre Dame, maybe I can keep him home. But yeah, that's a work in progress. But yeah, I'm proud of him to find the right place for him. And I look forward to seeing what his future holds at Cornell.
Hey,
That's
Coach,
so cool.
before we let you go, you are such a recruiter, and you recruit at the highest of levels. You know what it's like to sit in a young man's living room and make your pitch. What was it like, though, in that position as a dad? Now you're the one listening with your son. How different was that?
Hey, the number one lesson in sales is understand who's helping that person make the decision. And what Cornell was able to do is understand that my wife was really the decision maker.
There you go.
So people that were reaching out to me, you're not going to get much out of that. But she was on the journey with him from start to finish. And I try to be somebody that just gives my opinion, just to ask the tough questions. What's really important? But ultimately, they won Mom, and with Mom came our oldest son, Vinny.
Smart man.
Yep.
That is another reason why we love you, Marcus Freeman. Thank you so much for being with us on Vibe Check here on Disney+. Good luck this season. Go Irish.
Absolutely. Thank you, and
Thanks,
hope
Coach.
to be back here soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Go Irish.